And for the county government, again, to address the other issues of corruption and cartel, even as we enforce as NEMA the implementation of waste management. Thank you.
Honorable members, we have eaten 15 minutes into the next questions time, and therefore the responses that we've received from the Honorable CS, save for what the question by Senator Manzo on the budget, whether you have allocated on this question. I haven't heard you responding to that. I will allow you, Senator Veronica. I had closed on questions and withdrawn all the same. I've noticed that you requested after I had closed on the question supplementary to the CS. On that one, Honorable CS, when you will be responding to the next question, please respond to the question as to whether you have got any budgetary allocation in the current financial year on the question by Senator Manzo. The next honorable members you're going to is question 091, and Senator Mohammed Chute has authorized Senator John Yutu to ask the question. I will proceed to allow Senator John Yutu to proceed to ask question 091 on behalf of Senator Mohammed Chute.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. As we have rightly stated, I'm standing in for Senator Chute of Marsabit County. And the question by Senator Chute, A, is could the Cabinet Secretary provide the historical background on the introduction of Prosopis juliflora, commonly known as Madenge in Kenya, including the actors or institutions involved, and explain the ecological or policy rationale that justified the introduction of the plant. B, what is the current extent of Prosopis juliflora spread across the country, and could the Cabinet Secretary identify the most affected areas, particularly in Marsabit County, where the species reportedly covers approximately 40% of range lands? And C, what short and long-term interventions has the Ministry developed to contain or eradicate Prosopis juliflora, including projected timelines, budgetary allocations, and multi-agency or county-level plans aimed at the restoring affected rangelands, especially in light of its 2022 classification as a national security threat? And finally, Mr. Speaker, has the Ministry undertaken or reviewed any scientific assessments on the viability of Prosopis juliflora for alternative uses? And if so, what are the findings or outcomes of such initiatives, including any ongoing or planned community-based projects that align with ecological restoration? I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable CS, you may proceed to answer question 091.
Yes, Honorable Speaker, thank you. So maybe to answer the question on illegal dumping first, the letter done to all counties, there was a letter done to all counties in July 2024 and a reminder sent in December 2024 about the same, and counties are adamant. So we continue to engage them for implementation. Regarding the budget, yes, we have inadequate budget to support NEMA operations in matters monitoring, evaluation, and inspection of sites. Again, it's an area that we would want to advocate for to ensure that we are working on. So regarding the question on Prosopis juliflora, Honorable Speaker, the genus Prosopis belongs to the family Leguminosae, specifically the subfamily Mimosoidae. The genus has 4 genera and 44 species and several varieties, of which 40, including Prosopis pallida, are native to the American, mainly South American. In contrast, 1 is native to Africa, Prosopis africana, and 3 are native to Asia, Prosopis cineraria, Prosopis facta, and Prosopis coelziana. Honorable Speaker, Prosopis pallida was first introduced into Kenya in 1948 by the colonial government workers and planted in Taveta Township. It was a popular species and was widely planted in the larger Taveta County, then Taita Taveta District, and other parts of arid and semi-arid areas of Kenya, mostly in the 1960s to 1980s. The species is non-invasive and exhibits good stem.
Senate Majority Leader, Senator Nyutu, Senator Cherargei, order please. Allow the CS to be heard in silence.
Good stem forms and other growth characteristics, but slower growth rate. There is no clear documentation regarding the introduction of Prosopis juliflora into the country. It is suspected that it could have been due to taxonomic confusion with Prosopis pallida and Prosopis juliflora. The fast growth of Prosopis juliflora and adaptability to dry conditions made it more popular to communities in most of the 1980s and 1990s, where it was widely introduced to many districts such as Turkana, Baringo, Isiolo, Marsabit, Garissa, Tana River, Taita Taveta, Kajiado, Kilifi, Mombasa, Wajir, and Mandera, among others. Honorable Speaker, the El Nino weather phenomena of 1997 and 1998 led to the population explosion by Prosopis juliflora in all areas where it has been planted, thus making its invasive tendency visible for the first time in Kenya and Eastern Africa. The species has since invaded wetlands, grazing areas, irrigation schemes, and other areas of high conservation value, thus displacing pastoral communities over wide areas and other land use systems, causing poverty and helplessness. Regarding question B, to identify the most affected areas, Honorable Speaker, the most recent assessment of Prosopis juliflora cover is estimated at 1.12 million hectares in 22 counties. Turkana County is the largest, estimated at 361,000 hectares, while Marsabit has a Prosopis cover of 142,000 hectares. The most affected areas of Marsabit County are Loglogo, Moyale, Loyangalani, Maikona, Kor, North Hor, Malabot, Marchidorop, and South Hor, among others. This is Annex 1. So, regarding the short and long-term interventions, Honorable Speaker, the Ministry began responding to Prosopis challenge by jointly undertaking baseline studies between 2000 and 2002 to determine the status and the impact of the species in Kenya. A major output of the study was the first national workshop on integrated management and control of Prosopis species 2003 that led to the formation of the first national Prosopis task force in 2004, which was later transformed into a steering committee for the first pilot project on integrated management and control of Prosopis in Kenya. Baringo was used as a pilot site between 2005 and 2008. Members were drawn from key government ministries, environment, agriculture, livestock, education, including universities, lands, and international agencies such as WWF, CABI, ICRAF, UNEP, UNDP, and FAO, and several NGOs and CBOs. Representatives of the 6 affected counties, then districts, were also included, namely Baringo, Garissa, Mandera, Tana River, Turkana, and Taita Taveta. Honorable Speaker, the government is undertaking the following initiatives in the management of Prosopis species. For short-term interventions in 1999 to 2001, we conducted a national survey to determine the status and impact of Prosopis species on livelihood and environment. The first sensitization workshop at the national level on integrated management and control of Prosopis species was held in October 2003, and followed by a second one in 2007 and a third one in 2015. Several others at the county level in all the affected counties have been carried out in 2016 to 2024. Between 2004 and 2006, the government secured technical support from development partners such as FAO to undertake a pilot integrated management and control of Prosopis. Activities included mechanical control through thinning and pruning, killing stumps, producing various products, and biological control. Expanded prosopis management skills from Baringo to other affected counties, starting with the most impacted such as Turkana, Garissa, and Tana River. And in 2009, piloted the production and marketing of prosopis charcoal in Garissa, Tana River, and Baringo counties, leading to the formation of Charcoal Producer Association. Again, the activities included facilitation of the formation of Charcoal Producer Association in affected counties to support sustainable production and trade in prosopis charcoal. Existing associations include Tana River, Baringo, Garissa, Kajiado, among others, annexed to. Strengthened community capacity to manage prosopis spread through training, field days, exposure visits, and the establishment of East Africa Center of Excellence in prosopis research in Marigat. And developed value chains on prosopis utilization in sawn timber, animal feeds, and human foods, biomass, energy, construction poles, charcoal, biocar, briquettes, wood, carvings, and honey production, among others. Charcoal production is the most popular value chain, which is estimated with an estimated annual value of 54 billion. In financial year 2024 to 2025, a draft prosopis strategy was developed through a series of workshops and meetings involving the larger stakeholders, including the Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Devolution, Office of the Attorney General, and the Ministry of Interior. And it is now in the process of being finalized by end of financial year 25-26 by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry in 2025. The list of activities have been annexed 3. The long-term interventions in financial year 2024-25, a draft National Prosopis Strategy and Action Plan 2025 to 2035 has been developed through a series of workshops and meetings involving the larger stakeholders, including the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Energy, Ministry of Devolution, Office of Attorney General, and the Ministry of Interior, FAO, ICRAF, Center for Agriculture and Bioscience International, that is CABI, Council of Governors, and community associations. It is now in the process of being finalized by end of financial year 25-26 by the Ministry of Environment, Climate Change and Forestry in 2025. Honorable Speaker, the Ministry has also facilitated the interim piloting of the National Prosopis Strategy through the development of the County Prosopis Spatial Management Plans in Baringo, Isiolo, Marsabit, and Tana River counties. The County Prosopis Management Plan aims at confining the invasion from further spreading while clearing invasion around key community assets that are endangered by the invasions. These include grazing areas, irrigation schemes, roads, livestock, watering points, and areas of high conservation values. The cleared areas are restored using pasture seeds or grass, cropping where irrigation is possible, and growing multipurpose trees to prevent reinvasion of prosopis. The county prosopis management plans for other affected counties such as Turkana, Samburu, Garissa, Kilifi, Kajiado, Taita Taveta, Wajir, Mandera, among others, will be developed as soon as the National Prosopis Strategy is formally launched. Regarding alternative uses, Honorable Speaker, yes, the Ministry reviewed the scientific assessment on the viability of Prosopis juliflora for alternative uses, and the findings demonstrate a significant value in various areas. They include fuel wood, where Prosopis wood is an excellent source of firewood, offering a readily available energy option. Charcoal, where Prosopis charcoal has a high calorific value, ranging from 7.7 to 7.8 kilocalories, making it an efficient fuel source. The charcoal can also be processed into briquettes, providing a cleaner and more sustainable energy alternative. For commercial energy, the wood can be chipped and used for industrial steam, for electric power generation, and other heating needs. With the right technology, the species has potential for commercial exploitation for power generation. A prosopis-based power generation plant using gasification technology was established in Baringo County in 2015, but failed at the piloting stage due to the impurity of the gas produced, that is methane. The investor overlooked the technical guidance required to remove impurities associated with high levels of tannins and other chemicals in prosopis biomass. Briquettes and biocam, these two products can be produced from two processes as a byproduct of charcoal and commercial energy production, and from carbonizing the small diameter trees, twigs and branches, where prosopis is being eradicated by mechanical means. The carbonized materials can be reconstituted into briquettes for fuel or used as biocam for soil conditioning and carbon storage. Construction materials. The strong and durable wood of prosopis can be used for various building materials, including fence posts, construction poles, and furniture. Communities can utilize prosopis wood for constructing shelters and fences. Prosopis produces very nutritious pods with high contents of proteins, carbohydrates or sugars, and minerals that can be a viable substitute for cereals as raw materials for the commercial production of livestock feeds. Prosopis pods are also edible by humans and do not have any anti-nutritional attributes. Milled prosopis-based pod meal can be mixed with wheat at a proportion of 1:3 and baked to produce cakes, mandazis, and chapatis. Prosopis trees are evergreen and flower twice every year. Its flowers are very rich in nectar, and the honey produced is of high quality. However, the super high levels of sugar lead to frequent crystallization of honey, thus making it appear adulterated. Ongoing or planned community projects that align with ecological restoration, Honorable Speaker. There is ongoing capacity development of registered charcoal producer association in management and sustainable utilization of prosopis tree biomass. This includes the introduction of modern charcoal making technologies to reduce gas emission and land restoration methods, among others. Through the framework of collaboration with partners, there are ongoing activities geared towards rehabilitation of degraded landscapes affected by prosopis through the rollout of the County Prosopis Management Plan. The National Landscape and Ecosystem Restoration Strategy of 2023 to 2032, which underpins the 15 billion tree growing initiative, incorporates management and control of the spread of prosopis, green jobs on prosopis clearing and value addition of wood and non-wood product creation by the ILO-supported community projects which are being implemented in Turkana, Garissa, Tana River counties annexed 4. The ministry and partners are also implementing other projects that are partly addressing the management of prosopis juliflora in some of the affected counties. These include the FLOCA and the KEWASIP, that is Kenya Watershed Service Improvement Project, among others. Honorable Speaker, I submit.
Thank you, Madam CS. I will now allow 2 supplementary questions from Senator Joe Newton, if you do have, and thereafter the members who requested to ask supplementary questions will be given that opportunity. Senator Newton.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. As you had communicated, this is a question that came from the Senator for Marsabit, Senator Chute. I may not have a very good understanding of prosopis juliflora, but could the Cabinet Secretary say something about water hyacinth, because that's also another type of plant that is affecting our water bodies, and I believe it's under her ministry. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Veronica Maina.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, and I hope you will, with your permission, you'll indulge me to ask the question that I needed the CS to clarify on an issue she raised on the ministry search for a biodegradable bag in replacement of the plastic bags. And I wanted to know, because a very crucial question, whether the ministry has considered the alternative of encouraging and promoting the use of weaved baskets, weaved bags as an alternative for the plastic bags, even as you search for the biodegradable option of the biodegradable bags, so that the ministry can enhance an approach that then helps in creative industry and creates jobs in the course of searching for those bags, which then will go to the cottage industries, as opposed to concentrating with use of biodegradable bags, which may be produced by only one big factory. You can channel that energy and those resources towards generating employment, income, earning employment in counties like Murang'a, counties like Kitui, Makueni, where baskets are weaved, counties like Turkana. What is the approach that the ministry is taking towards that?
Senator Catherine Moma.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I'll request you indulge me to ask two questions since the supplementary questions did not come. Honorable CS, your answer is confusing to Kenyans. On the one hand, you say that there is a strategy on management and control of prosopis, juliflora, the Madenge plant, and then on the other hand, you've given a litany of the value of this plant, suggesting it is a good plant. CS, this plant, since introduction, I didn't hear you say the mess that it has caused in terms of the health of humans. When the thorns of the Madenge plant prick any human being, the wounds get inflamed so much, even to the animals. It has caused a lot of chaos, and I did not hear you speak to that bit. And the reason this question was put is actually because the communities do not see the value. And also, all the things that you said, the good things, are not happening in any of these counties. All that production is not happening in any of these counties. Madam CS, from 1999, it is 26 years since the environmental impact assessment was done, during Moi's time. I would have wanted to hear why the report of that environmental impact assessment is not being implemented 26 years later. And if you are doing something about it, I would have wanted to hear that in our time plan, we are intending to clear the Madenge plant by this time, following the following program. I have not heard that. Kenyans from those counties will not be clear on what exactly you're doing to actually manage, control, or eliminate the Madenge plant, which is causing chaos in those counties. Can you give a real timeline-related answer on what you are actually doing to ensure that the Madenge plant is moved away?
Senator Manzo.
Mr. Speaker, I want to ask the CS whether the Madenge tree is a scientifically manufactured tree, and if so, what are they going to do to eliminate it? Luckily, I've not seen it in Makueni, but I know when animals eat it, Mr. Speaker, they lose their teeth. So is this scientifically manufactured, or is it a natural tree, and what are they going to do to eliminate it?
Madam CS, you may take the floor to respond to those supplementary questions.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker and Honorable Members. So regarding the hyacinth, I kindly request that we convene the team to review and give a comprehensive report, as has been given for prosopis. For Senator Minor, you talked about biodegradable bags, and we really appreciate your observation with regards to this. We also welcome all options, including the cottage, the weaving, among others. As I had said, research is ongoing to see which is the best in terms of acting as a seedling, and that again after planting, that is biodegradable at the right time. And so we are welcoming all these options as the ministry looks at and evaluates the various potting bags. Senator Muma, yes, for prosopis, first of all, it's important to note that it was introduced to address desertification. But while addressing desertification, what we've noticed is that the invasion has increased and it's proliferating and affecting various areas. So getting rid of it absolutely will again reintroduce deserts within our country. And so what we are doing is really managing it, looking at the commercial value and managing so that it does not spread. Yes, indeed, Senator Manzu, a lot of scientific research has been conducted. Some of the research looks into utilization of pests or insects to manage it. However, you know, this can again have a ripple effect. So we need to be careful even as we look at management. Right now, what has worked is what we had talked about, the pruning, among others, controlling and managing the prosopis. As we look at the commercial value and improve the value chains and also improve communities and livelihoods by utilizing the same. So again, we are looking at reviewing other scientific interventions which can be contextualized to our setting without affecting the environment.